We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2120. Today, Jill and I are talking about why emotional decisions can kill your land deals.
Emotional decisions can kill a lot of
That's
things.
what I was going to say.
Okay.
Let's rewrite the title right now. Why emotional decisions are bad.
Yeah.
We'll start with land deals.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to
You're
choosing
never going to win
a life partner.
financially if you're always picking emotionally. Let's talk about this for a moment. What have been some of your recent emotional decisions?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I haven't had any. I don't have any emotional decisions ever.
Okay. Got it. I was wondering if the one in the driveway where we're kind of on the fence about A or B, model A or model B.
Joe and I recently purchased, I'll let the listener decide. Joe and I recently together purchased an additional recreation vehicle. Seems excessive. We have spent 2 full seasons, months and months, probably 6 out of the 12 last months, maybe more.
Well, obviously 2 seasons. I was thinking 3, right? This has been our 3rd year, going into our 4th year.
Yes, thank you for correcting me in the middle of the explanation. So we've got this large Class A Newmar Dutch Star, which Jill and I just are in love with. We've named him Lorax because he's not the most environmentally efficient machine on the planet. But through our 3 years of travels, we have realized that there's lots of places that we would like to go and stay where the rig's just too big and it's not set up. We seek out RV parks because it's just not a boondocking. It's not it's not an off-grid machine. So we recently, I've been secretly shopping for a truck, over cab truck camper. And so we recently bought, in addition to this one, a large Ford F-350 with a truck over camper. And, I didn't overpay. I didn't underpay. If it was a piece of land, I would not have purchased it. Wasn't cheap enough, but it was the right deal, the right time, the right seller, and a bunch of other stuff.
It was ready to go. It was literally, I got it with dishes.
There was a convenience factor.
So that's where I'm going. It was a little bit emotional.
Well, I just think there was a convenience factor that outweighed the extra money, which is the very foundation for us when we buy and sell real estate. The seller's on the phone and we say, look, we're going to pay you X. Is it retail? Nope. But you're going to get a check next week or 2 weeks from now. So we were the consumer on the end of that.
True. Here's how you know it's a little bit emotional and you might not be making the best deal. When the seller fills it up with gas, washes it, and buys you things. Here you go. Buys you a new set of hoses. You're like, they really want this to go through.
Did that happen?
No, but I would say they did wash it and do a few things. I'm like, they left a lot of nice stuff in there. Either that or his wife was just done. That was my other thought. It's barely, it's like, we're not sure they even slept in it.
We weren't setting any records on that acquisition.
No.
But
it
was a huge, massive 25% price reduction before I picked up the phone and called the guy.
Yeah.
It was on the market for a long time because I think it was overpriced.
We know how this ties today. There's stuff that you do make emotional decisions, like your wife's happiness and your primary residence, right?
Great example.
So that you might have to bite the bullet because you want to stay married. But when it comes to your business, you have to make those business decisions. And I find myself saying that all the time. There's a lot of examples in my coaching calls where I say those exact words. You have to do it. It's just business. There's nothing personal about it.
I have a lot of questions about emotion in a minute.
Oh, good.
This week, all week, Jill and I are talking about helpful land acquisition rules we didn't fully realize that we live by. Like everything in Land Academy, we've always been doing it this way, and now it just has a name.
Right.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular requests.
I'd like to point out, too, that we've never had it before in Discord, and public area. So if you want to be in the free public area of the Land Academy Discord forum, send a note to support@landacademy.com and they'll get you set up. Okay, so the question James wrote is, I keep coming across vacant lots that have mobile homes on them. The mobile homes require permitting to move and sometimes have a loan/lien. What is the standard practice for due diligence with this situation to avoid slowing down the purchase timeline?
I had to reread this question to see if it was real. Because James, I think is very new. And if you've ever listened to this show with any length, you know how much Jill and I love surprise mobile homes on our acquisition candidate. So when we get properties that come back because we sent the land mailer out, it's got a mobile home on it, we jump up and down around the office and high five each other. So the question here is, what do you guys do when the mobile homes are on there? They require permitting to move. They sometimes have a lien. Excellent. Both of those things. Number one, we're not moving it. That never has entered my mind. Boy, let's get that off of there. This isn't a house where you get the old stuff out and clean it all up and resell it. You're not going to improve your land because it's prettier in almost all cases. The stuff that's on the land, when you find it, is an extra bonus. It's going to make it more sellable, not less sellable in 99% of the cases. If there's old cars in the back and an old dilapidated mobile home on it, you struck gold.
That's good.
So the standard due diligence practice is awesome. There's a mobile home there. Check, move on to the next topic. It doesn't matter what the condition is. And here's why, because the person who that lived in that mobile home figured out the utilities. So there's a septic system somewhere. There's some version of water, hopefully electric, and all of those things. You got to look into it and find out if it's actually there, which an inspection, just a regular old inspection is going to smoke all that stuff out. Whether it's got a loan or a lien on it, the mobile home and the land don't have separate liens or loans. It's all one. And so if it does have a loan on it, then you're going to treat it just like if you bought or sold a house. So these are all positive things. The loan, it might drive the person to, in a better way for you as a buyer, drive the person to make a sales decision just to stop making the payments on something that they maybe are not using.
So the standard due diligence practice that you're asking here in the situation, James, is this. Number one, you need to get eyes on it. So I would either hire a photographer, we can easily go out and find a photographer, videographer, get some pictures, or my first choice really is I get a local agent involved. In these situations, I'm okay with that. I don't need an official BOG to do it. I was actually.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to keep.
Sorry.
So
about that.
I would get a local agent to go out there, see if they can get into it. Has anyone been living in it? Do the doors lock? Then we need to get, they'll have to get access and everything from the seller. No problem. But a local agent can go out, look at it, take some pictures for you, and give you an idea what they think it's worth. You're going to kill two birds with one stone there. Now, if it is not falling down and all the walls are there, because we've had these situations where an agent goes out and says, what's great about this thing is it's got excellent air conditioning because it's missing a wall. So okay, thank you. Now I really know what I'm dealing with. And I still say leave it, kind of thing, because someone's going to fix it or move it or whatever they want when they buy it from me. That's what's going to happen. But then if an agent comes back and says, the first situation is there's not a wall there. Okay, fine. Now I'm kind of treating it like regular land with utilities there. And I'm not going to do much more than that kind of thing for due diligence. Just find out what all is there, and it's working by calling the county and figuring that out. In the other scenario where the agent comes back and says, oh my gosh, it looks like he just passed on and the cleaning person is still going there. Wow, how nice. It's furnished and everything. Great. Now I'm going to do, like Jack mentioned, a regular inspection like I would a house. And again, I can do all this remotely. I don't have to be there. My agent can kind of be my boots on the ground. And if I've already got this connection with this agent, then I'm going to give them the listing. So it's going to work out just great. And they know that. That's why they're putting in this time with me right now. And that's it. And I'm going through normal escrow. And like Jack said, paying off the lien's going to get, what's the word I'm looking for? Satisfied.
Yeah.
Like it would a mortgage. at the time of closing. This is good stuff.
James, if you don't like mobile homes on your land, please call us.
I'll buy it.
We'll help you.
Give it to me, or we'll help you.
We'll do the deal together.
You
You don't have to do anything.
And you could bring it up on, if you, we have them popping up. I was just thinking we had several a couple weeks ago pop up on our Thursday member call where we're looking at land with mobiles and trying to figure out, is it worth it? Would you do this deal money wise? But feel free to pipe in and ask these questions like, hey, did you already cover this? And how did that work out? And who do I call for this? And what's needed? And we'll cover it in more depth there.
Our glee for mobile homes started exactly like you just described. We sent out a bunch of mail in a municipality, a zip code or a county, I don't remember, that didn't separate vacant land and vacant land with mobile homes on it. They didn't separate it. They didn't care from a tax standpoint. So everybody who had a mobile home on their own land got a letter from us. Mm-hmm. We bought a bunch of deals and did incredibly well on it. So it became a new business model. So congratulations. I think that's great. Today's topic, why emotional decisions can kill your land deals. I'm going to tell a story.
Cool.
One of the things that I had to get over as a young land investor was to not I would see things in a potential land deal that weren't there. Why? Because I wanted to be successful. I wanted to do a bunch of deals. I wanted to, for all the reasons that you were part of Land Academy or you're listening to the show, I wanted to speed it up. Come on, I want to get this going. I want to see it. And so I would look at land deals and forego the fact that I had access just because it was cheap. Back in that day, it actually worked in my favor. Now, because we have access to all this technology and we can run due diligence really quickly in a matter of seconds on Google Earth specifically to see what's going on there. I don't have to make emotional decisions anymore. I can just look at the facts and decide. So emotion, this is a Tony Robbins thing. And he has said, he's written whole books about this. Emotion will destroy your chance for success, both personally and professionally. Because
you're not looking at things in any other way, basically.
I mean, you have to start out with
I love Tony Robbins, and I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of his philosophy here, so that's why I'm asking you.
Everything. This is my opinion, which is not necessarily appropriate for everybody. I'm really learning that pragmatism and being a realist is where you should start with everything. You should start out thinking, how much is this going to cost? Where does it fit in my balance sheet? Where does it fit in my life? Yep. Okay, got all the 8 A's. Now, how do I feel about it?
Now how bad do I want it?
Or how do I feel about it? Okay, great. You're having feelings. Hold on. Shove your feelings aside. Get all the facts straight and then have some feelings.
Welcome to my world. Chill. Shove your feelings aside. What do you do with your feelings? You swallow them.
I knew this topic was going to come out like this.
Yeah. What's very funny about the whole situation now of the entire Team Land Academy, it is predominantly female, not male. It is hilarious. True. Poor guy deals with a lot of feelings in this world and a lot of estrogen. It's great.
Why is that? I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because Jill attracts female land investors, and Land Academy is much better for it.
I'm going to say, even with our staff, we have strong, smart cookie females on our team, which is really, really good. So,
look, selfishly, it all adds up to me having to do a lot less stuff. Because they're not satisfied with how I do stuff, so they just go do it themselves.
Do you know, I got to say one positive thing to end on this here. I have a story. No, you brought up Tony Robbins, and I love Tony Robbins, and it made me think of this story. Like, it has to be 20 years ago. Sorry, Dave Ramsey. That I started listening to him, and that I'm saying sorry, Dave Ramsey, because you've been on the air for quite a while. So, although we've been on the air too, we're going on 10 years, so I'm not one to talk. So years ago, I was listening to a guy call in. I know you've heard me say this several times. and he was asking about some investment. I really want to make this investment. It's going to be good for our family. I want to do this. I think it's going to be great. And here's all the math. And what do you think, Dave? You know how Dave Ramsey is. He wants to know what's your income, what's your spending, how many kids do you have, what's your mortgage, do you have car payments, do you have a contingency plan? He goes through all the checklists of everything, and he has one last question for the guy before he makes this crazy investment in whatever it is he wants to do. The guy says, "What does your wife say?" And the guy's like, "Well, what do you mean?" Because you know what? God. Your wife's gut instinct is really, really important here. So there's some little times that I'm going to say there's a little flicker of emotion, and it's our female gut intuition that you do want to listen to. Don't make that the driving force, right? But and it's really about your gut as to, red flags. Is your tummy rumbling and you're a little bit sick? Or you think you're going to lose sleep over this? That's the one little emotional thing I want you to pay attention to.
There's no planet, by the way, that you should be making any material decision without your wife being not only just informed about it, but doing it with you. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. That is a rookie mistake.
Yeah. If you think you're going to start as a land investor and your wife hates this and every time you spend $1, she's cringing, not going to work.
Yeah. Ask your wife if you should be buying and selling land.
I always ask that.
See what she says.
When I talk to people that are thinking about, doing this
husband.
And getting into investing and everything that we do, that's always my question. And it's not just wives. Maybe it's women and the men. What is your significant other? Do you have a partner? Yes. How does your partner feel about this? Because if they're not on the same page and they're not supportive of this effort, like anything, it doesn't matter that it's this. It could be you going back to college and cutting your job hours in half because you're going to college. They need to be on the same page with you or it's not going to work.
Jill and I are very lucky where we want to go to the same place in life. And so we have differing opinions about how to get there and a lot of stuff like that. But when I wake up and say, I was looking at this company and maybe we should buy it, she doesn't say, "You're off your rocker, go to work." We might get to that later. That's but funny. She'll look at it and we'll talk. I'm fortunate because I've been in relationships in the past where everything is just head to head. It's all animosity. No matter what I say, nope, that's a terrible idea. And so, you have to, getting their spouse's opinion is imperative. Not only just their opinion, but man, wow, our life could improve. Mm-hmm. So if you're lucky enough to be with somebody like Jill, male or female, and have past experience where it's so you can appreciate someone where you're moving through life together, that's huge. You can get anything done. If that's
what I'm looking for. It's not the approval. It's something. It's their, agreement, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I agree.
I'm trying. There's a word I'm missing, and I'm sure you'll all remind me later. Jill, on episode number the word you are looking for is blank.
Yes.
So please feel free to remind me and send us a note. Everybody else, I know you listening. You're like, Jill, I know the word. I'm shouting it right now.
It's a crack up. Yeah. Screaming in the car.
Exactly. Thanks.
It's a crack up, by the way, when someone says, in chapter 3 and Land Academy 1.0, where you talk about, oh my gosh, no, I don't know.
It's okay.
Join us tomorrow. Jill and I are going to discuss building a weekly land mailer schedule to ensure deal flow. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.